Nityananda. Welcome to my YouTube channel. This is Mani Terugananda. The inspiration for today's video came about when I was working with a few people in terms of healing them through some of them having chronic diseases like diabetes, stroke, some of them even perfectly healthy but just not able to cope up with the demand of the lifestyle for expansion. Essentially, for whatever we need to do in the outer world, this body, understanding the utility value of this body, which is a vehicle that enable us to manifest the dreams and achievement we want in the outer world. So to do that, we need to have the right spiritual insights about human body. See, the belief and ideas you carry about human body basically determine the life structure you're going to have. So it is important to have the right cognitions about this body. Then you discover that you'll be able to go beyond the limited cognitions that most people carry or the society insert into us in our consciousness about a human body. So let me share with you the very first spiritual insight about a human body. These spiritual insights fundamentally shifted the way how I perceive my body and how I relate with my body. So the very first one is to have a human body is so rare and precious. And you should know that to experience the ultimate superconsciousness, or you call enlightenment, you need a human body. A human body is needed to take a quantum jump to the ultimate. That is the reason why many souls come back to planet Earth to go through what they need to go through so that they can actually experience the ultimate flowering of the consciousness. So understand that the human body is also an enabler for you to experience the divine consciousness. So that is the very first insight. The second spiritual insight that you should know is this body is a huge possibility because it has the possibility for us to experience the higher dimension, the higher basically things that we have yet to discover about this body. See, this human body is the most evolved bioorganism in terms of the species on planet Earth. Whatever other species can do, this body is fully capable of doing that. So this body is the most evolved bioorganism on planet Earth. So that means we can swim, we can fly, we can do many, many things what you can see in the animal kingdom. So fundamentally, to cognize that is a big shift that we need to know. It's like jumping from ignorant to powerful cognitions about this possibility which lie latent in this human body. So that's the one thing that you need to know, which is this human body is a huge possibility. See, when I talk about the evolution of this body, we all started as a single cell amoeba. From single cell to fish, it was a physical breakthrough. From fish to monkey, it was a physical and psychological breakthrough. Then from monkey to human being is both also besides the physical breakthrough, psychological breakthrough, and a conscious breakthrough, where we are now. So for many, 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 many millions of years, we have stuck in this level. It is time for us to take the next quantum jump in terms of evolution from human being to the superhuman beings. Or I could say divine beings. That will require not just a physical breakthrough, a psychological breakthrough, a conscious breakthrough, but also a superconsciousness breakthrough. So these are possibility. And we are now right in that moment of this possibility opening up in all of us. See, if you are able to understand this huge possibility for us to experience the radiating the state, space, and the Shaktis, powers of the super consciousness, Sadashiva, that means that we will exist as a divine being. And that is possible when you are able to cognize this huge possibility through the human body. So you must also know the very first yogi, Adi Yogi Sadashiva, when he assumed the human form, he gave the technology, the science, to basically experience him. Whether, when you are evolving from the human being to the superhuman being. So that science is now revealed by a living avatar, His Holiness, His Divine Holiness Paramsam Sri Nityananda, who is the avatar of Sadashiva. And I'm seeing that whatever he's reviving from the Shiva Agamas, the Agamas, basically, which is the instruction, I would say the direct words of Sadashiva, to once again revive the possibility in the human consciousness. So that's the next thing, which is human being is a huge possibility that we can experience from just being a human being to the divine being. Next, you also need to know that this body is a microcosm of the macrocosm, Pindanda and the Brahmana. So whatever you can find in in the universe in terms of the 5 elements, Panchabhutas, earth, water, fire, air, and space or ether, can also be found in this human body. See, like for instance, earth element basically relates to the flesh and bones that we are having. And water includes all the fluid in the body, including the blood, which circulates throughout the whole body. Third, fire relates to our digestive fire, which converts food to energy. Fourth, the air element, which relates to our breathing and prana. And lastly, the most subtlest of the 5 elements, which is space, which talk about inner space, our power of visualization, whatever you can conceive in the inner space, which allow us to fundamentally manifest what we want in the outer world. So we have the same 5 elements, in this body. It is a microcosm of the macrocosm. So however you feel in awe with the universe, this body is equally capable of producing those amazing experiences and possibility. What we need to know is to know the knowledge, the science and the technology which is available through the ancient yogis and enlightened masters, because they are the inner world scientists who work on the human body and the consciousness, how to evolve the human mind to the super consciousness. So that is the possibility of evolution and experiencing the cosmos when we are able to handle the 5 elements in the body. Next, basically I want to talk about also the next spiritual insight is that our DNA structure is not fixed. It can evolve, it can be changed, expanded, rewired to create the power to create new possibility through this body and rewiring the brains and also changing the DNA structure. Be very clear, when you are able to go through the physiological mutation through these yogic sciences processes, the physical mutation happen which cause a fundamental change in the DNA structure That's why for enlightened beings, they have a totally different DNA structure. And now we are in the tip of the iceberg of that jump to have a totally new DNA structure being discovered, being awakened. So I'm thoroughly thrilled that this possibly is going to open up in my lifetime. I hope you're also equally inspired to explore the possibility in the human being, in the human body as well. Next, I want to talk about the next fundamental spiritual insight which I imbibe is, see, the purpose of a human birth is to work on the inner software. The whatever software we came down with, whatever software we are currently operating, we can reprogram the inner software to experience and manifest higher reality, higher frequency, higher energy, and manifesting extraordinary Shaktis, powers of Sadashiva. So that is the possibility that we have as a human being in the human body. So that can only happen when you're able to tune this body. See, our body is nothing but a mirror to reflect the superconsciousness. But when the mirror is not tuned, it collects dust, it is distorted, it is not able to reflect the cosmic light, the superconsciousness perfectly. When that happens, you don't experience the flowering of the ultimate, experience of the ultimate. So, having said that, what it means is this body needs to be prepared. This body needs to be tuned to become a perfect reflection of the cosmic light. So, and one thing you should know that in the yogic understanding, being healthy does not mean free from diseases. Being healthy means a state of well-being, constantly radiating not just physical health, but also a kind of feeling alive, enthusiastic about life, excitement for the day to unfold. That means constantly feeling the flow of life through this body. That is health. And to be able to experience that possibility as being alive, being healthy, you need to create certain health consciousness. Just like how you want to manifest wealth, abundance, you need certain wealth consciousness. If you want to experience the higher dimensions of the human body, transforming from human body to the superhuman being, you need to create certain consciousness in terms of with the body, so that you can evolve to a state whereby you literally feel this body is going to be an enabler for you to do what you want to do on planet Earth, in terms of manifesting your dreams into achievement, into reality, basically experiencing the higher state of consciousness. All that is possible whenever you have the right relationship with the body, the right understanding of this utility value of the body. And finally, understanding that this body is perishable, it is not permanent. That's why working on the inner software while you're on in the body on planet Earth is the whole purpose of the evolution. This body is an enabler for you to acquire what you need to acquire, because that stays in your bio memory. And once the body is ready to be dropped, understanding that this body is just like another clothes. When it's torn and tattered, you just drop the body and assume a new body. Just like what Lord Krishna said, this body is just a change of, like a season. The season change, you just change the body when it is no longer serving you, whenever it's time to take a change. So when you have that understanding, then death become not as scary as what we imagine. You celebrate because now you're going to move on to another possibility by assuming another body. That's when you believe that there is this theory of reincarnation. But of course, in the Sanatana Hindu Dharma, this is what we fundamentally believe, that you do not only live with one body, you have many, many births till you reach the state of the ultimate. So that's all I have to share in terms of the spiritual insight. So work on making this body yogic, work on this body, making it radiate the highest frequency, radiate the possibility and manifest the Shaktis of the subconsciousness, Sadashiva. With that, I would like to thank you for listening. And you have any question, please drop me a line and I'll be more than delighted to answer you. Thank you, Nityananda.